Welcome, Spiritual Mag. My name's Sam Bell. All right, we're going to explore when this this girl, sees a shape shifter. So, uh, just relax and imagine this. A young woman is talking to a man who seems totally normal. He speaks clearly, looks average, and acts like anyone else. But then, in just a few seconds, something shocking happens. He changes. Right before her eyes, he transforms into something else, not a costume or a trick of light, but an actual change of shape. Understandably, her whole voice, her whole body shakes. Her brain can't make sense of what she just saw. And then, just as suddenly, the man turns back to normal. He looks human again, just as he did before. However, the woman is no longer the same. No way, baby. She's shaken to her core. Sometime later, she paints what she saw. She tries to turn the impossible into art, but eventually even the painting becomes too much, so she destroys it. All that's left is her story and her trembling. These events were where the mysterious intrudes into the mundane are what we call liminal experiences. Liminal experiences. Liminality, a state of transition or in-betweenness, blurs the boundaries of our perceived reality. That's the truth. It's akin to standing in a doorway where two rooms are visible at once. These experiences, far from being frightening, are a source of wonder and curiosity, challenging our understanding of reality and often leading to profound personal transformation. They inspire us to see beyond the ordinary and actually embrace the extraordinary, opening our minds to the transformative power of the unknown. Mm-hmm. Some people think events like this are impossible, but others, like midwives and spiritual seekers and hospice workers and even ancient storytellers, say these moments are clues that the world is more mysterious than we realize. In short, in long-term care facilities and hospice care, for example, where people are close to death, strange things often happen. Patients may see lights, figures, or beings no one else can. They may start speaking and communicate with gestures or even with just a look. As a speech and language pathologist, over 40 years experience in California, Florida, New Zealand, I've seen this firsthand. My experiences in hospice care have given me a unique perspective on these liminal experiences, and I've come to understand that a slight tremble, a deep stare, or sudden silence often means something is happening. Something earth pilgrim language can't describe. When the young woman wasn't stable, after seeing the man transform, it wasn't just fear. It was her brain going into defense mode. The deepest part of the brainstem, reacts first when we see something completely unexpected. Her choice to destroy her painting was an emotional decision. It might have been her mind's way of staying safe, like putting up a mental do not enter sign. This isn't the first time someone has seen a shape shifter. Many old stories talk about beings that can change their form. In the 12th century France, a group known as the Cathars spoke of glowing beings in white robes that could shift their shapes. In Celtic legends, there were selkies, magical creatures that could shed their seal skins and walk on land as humans. Many Native American tribes tell of skinwalkers, some kind and some not so kind, who change through powerful spiritual practice. These are not bedtime stories told to children. These are shared human experiences recounted by different people across centuries and continents. They may hold a grain of truth, a truth that by different people across centuries and continents. This transcends cultural and temporal boundaries, connecting this through our shared encounter with those we've known. This shared experience can help us understand and empathize with those who have had similar encounters. Even today, people who claim to have been visited by strange beings, as in alien abduction stories, often describe feeling confused, afraid, or as if their words no longer work. They draw pictures. Others write poems. Try to explain, but it's hard because these experiences break the rules of what we think is real. Here's my personal view. Earth is a spiritual school. Some souls here are full of light, representing those who have learned their lessons and are ready to move on. Others are still learning, facing challenges and overcoming obstacles to grow stronger. And some others may be dark, even mischievous, representing the negative energies we encounter. But they're all here for a reason. They're all here for a reason, to learn and to teach. In this context, the liminal experiences we encounter, such as the young woman's encounter with the shapeshifter, are not just random occurrences, but part of a larger spiritual journey designed to teach us and help us grow. Really. Understand when we face adversity, it is not always to break us. Sometimes it is to shape us, to make us stronger. Just as a difficult math problem stretches our mind, complex spiritual challenges stretch our soul, fostering growth and resilience. This perspective can inspire us to face our challenges with courage, yes, and optimism, knowing that they are growing opportunities. Oh, it's a lot of growing opportunities, too. Some people believe that certain beings, whether angels or guides or even tricky and loving discarnates and other spirits, visit Earth to test us, to teach us, or sometimes to help themselves. From this view, it's not about what a being looks like, it's about its energy, its frequency, just like a radio station. Different beings broadcast on various channels. Some are peaceful and clear, others come through like static. In scientific terms, this is somewhat akin to aphasia, a speech disorder that confuses communicative words, but the message doesn't come through accurately. From my experience in hospital settings, when people are close to dying, they often see things others can't. They've witnessed beautiful lights or a loved one who've already died. Others see angels or hear music. But some see dark or shadowy figures that make them uneasy. Modern medicine might call this hallucination or delirium. However, people who study the spiritual side of life believe these are real encounters with beings from other dimensions, some who assist with the soul's journey, and others who attempt to block it. I've met these beings myself. Some kind, some confused, some hard to understand. In many traditions, including Native American, Andean, and Spiritist teachings, there is a belief that spiritual beings live on many levels. Some are wise and can't be helpful. Others are stuck or lost. You can't always judge by how they look, but how they feel. When a woman saw the man change shape, maybe her emotional and energetic state created a brief opening, a doorway between dimensions, and maybe, just maybe, she saw something that usually stays hidden. A psychologist, Jean Piaget, developed a theory about how we process new information. When we encounter something that aligns with what we already know, our brain assimilates it. We absorb identity. But when we see something that doesn't fit, we need to accommodate. That means changing the way we think to make room for a new experience. However, sometimes a new thing can be too unusual. No kidding. Cook your noodle. Our brain can't make space for it. so it gets pushed out or hidden away. That may not have happened to the woman. Her brain couldn't rebuild its idea of a reality of what she saw. The painting she destroyed was a symbol of that failed effort. In hospice, I've often seen this. People can no longer talk, but they communicate through their eyes, a touch or subtle gesture. Even when words fail, meaning still flows. Sometimes animals do things long before humans do. Maybe that's a clue that we all, dogs and people alike, have one foot in this world and another in something more profound. I know we are divine sparks, each of us carrying a piece of something special. That something greater is our soul. And our soul is made by Mother and Father Creator. Life on earth can be hard, and the bottom line, when you really get down to it, is that your physical body is but a suit of flesh, where your willpower, ability to focus, and unconditional love presently reside. Your flesh suit is also here right now because it's also a place to learn lessons not available in heaven, which is your true home. Even our greatest fears and darkest moments can shape us into wiser, stronger beings, which allow greater amplitudes of Christic energies to entangle. In some hospice cases, patients who have previously angry or afraid become gentle and peaceful in their final moments. They forgive, they let go, they even smile. It's as if they suddenly feel presence of something loving and beyond this. When you are there with them, these absolutely loving, unique moments are priceless. From this higher perspective or reframing, these injurious forces aren't just here to hurt us. They're like weights in a gym. They challenge us so our spiritual muscles can grow. This young woman's experience isn't just a weird story. It's a crack in the wall of what we speech pathologists, most of whom are women, work every day with people trying to express themselves. They know that language doesn't always explain everything. Sometimes meaning lives in a glance, a gesture, or a tear. Philosophically, it teaches us to ask bold questions. Mysticism teaches us to listen with our hearts. The shapeshifter in her story isn't a glitch, it's a test. Like a teacher walking through a solid wall asking, "Are you paying attention?" Earth is a school, and every moment, no matter how strange, has something to teach us. You and all your loved ones are always in my prayers. Samuel Joseph Bell, civilian journalist, spiritualmag.org, and I also have here in California this year, 2025, the vast majority of licensed speech language pathologists are women. Specifically, 96%. 96, that's a 906% of licensed speech pathologists in California are women. This is consistent with trends in the profession. Pretty cool. Okay, you and all your loved ones, easy peasy.